ambitions is a rider.
Hey. Hello and welcome back to the Guillotines Geeks podcast. Today we're joined by Niko Petrides. Niko, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you guys having me. Glad to be on.
And let's jump straight into it. You're on 4-fight winning streak. All of those have been by brutal finish. You have your next fight coming up. Can we expect the same? What are we looking into?
We're going to keep this ball rolling. We're definitely going in there. The goal is to go out there, be smart, technical, walk away with the win, and hopefully, if everything goes to plan, we just add another finish to the record.
Where does this power come from? Because you look at your amateur days and you weren't sleeping anybody. And then the minute you hit the pro scene, all of a sudden it was just like you had fucking cement in your hands. It's just smoking everybody.
I really think, from the amateur to becoming pro, I started at my first gym in North Carolina, and then made the jump down here to American Top Team down in Florida. And, I played baseball in college. So the more and more I started, talking to people and understanding, like, throwing a punch is just like throwing a baseball. And once I really started letting my hands go and trusting that, I definitely have found that I'm becoming a sniper and able to find people's chins and once it's happened once and happened twice, and the third time to the fourth time, I just have full faith and trust in my hands. And it's not like I'm going out there trying to swing for the fences. It just I'm able to aim small and miss small, and when I find that button, I just know I can put people's lights out.
And you look at your style, you've got a very recognizable style. The minute you see that, you stand really tall, you stand very proud, the hands down kind of approach. You kind of look almost Thai style mixed with a wee bit of karate style. It's how did you get started into the sport? Where did that stance come from?
Man, it's crazy, and people really don't believe this when I say this. I think I took my first amateur fight in 2022, so it's 2026. So I've realistically only been training for like 3.5, 4 years. So I'm still trying to develop and find my style. I really don't know what my style is, but the more and more of training down at what I think is the best gym in the world, down an American Top Team, I kind of found my style. And we found that find ways that set up my power and everything, get guys to fall into my traps. And that's kind of what has happened. And I've developed, training down here in Florida, I'm picking the brains of all these top elite fighters. I'm like, this works for me, this works for me, best coaches in the world. So I'm kind of just adding on to my style and developing on it every single day.
Fair enough. And that move from North Carolina to Florida, you made your pro debut with your team. I think it's called Elevate was your team in North Carolina. And then after your pro debut, maybe your next fight, I can't remember which one you made the move down then, was it? Or
No, so it was after my six, or I've had three pro fights since I've been down here in Florida. So my two losses were when I was up there, and then that's kind of when I knew I had to. I'm all in on this dream that I'm chasing, so I had to do something to make that jump and fill that gap where I that needed to be filled. And I took one more pro fight of April 26th of last year. And then after that, I already knew I was moving down here.
and that move's paid off. We seen you have the likes of Grant Dawson in your corner. You listen very well to him. That 22-second KO, I think it was. How
Yeah.
amazing is it to have boys like that, one in your corner and two training? Who do you find most important to your training?
Uh, I honestly, man, we're such a team down here that it's like when you have that many guys coming in and out of the gym, like obviously, like we have our some guys that are international that come in for their fight camps and everything, and then we have guys that live down here that are here year round. I'm so fortunate enough that I fell into the group that I'm in with Grant and Yaroslav, and the coaches Mike Brown, Tiago, my Christian Turner, Roman Feraldo, all these guys. As soon as I walked in the gym, it was nerve wracking. I knew nobody, and I was a small fish in a big pond, and I still think I am in that sense. But like, I also kind of made it known that I'm here to help everyone else, and I want to be a team guy. And once they showed, like, once I was able to show, like, hey, like, if you guys need me for anything, like, we had you're fighting a guy that's 6'3" or something like that, and they kind of returned the favor. And like I said, Grant is one of my best friends. He's not even a coach, teammate. He's a brother to me at this point. Like, I will give the shirt off my back for that guy, and I know you do the same. So, like, he's helped me tremendously in the grappling department, and even in the striking department. Really kept me like level headed, and I'm excited, to help him for his future camps, and as he's helping me for mine.
And now that you're at this point, now you're on a massive streak. You're coming up to your next opponent now, August 1st. Surely you have to think after this fight, it's the UFC or the PFL call.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. One thing, as I'm getting older and my career is starting to go on, like I said, I still feel like I'm very young and new to this game, so I'm starting to learn it. But I mean, if I can go out there and get a finish, it's also at another belt. This will be my second title in under a year since being down here. That's two titles on the regional scene and seven finishes. I mean, I feel like it's hard to be denied, like to deny me. I'm not one that trash talks. I'm not going to go out there and make a fool out of myself. I'm going to go out there and let people know that I'm not here to. It's kind of my line that I've been using. I'm not here to sniff crotches. I'm here to knock people out. I'm not here to. I don't want to wrestle with these guys. I want to make these guys stand up, and I want to snipe them and show people that I can be one of the most exciting welterweights on this planet.
And you're showing it already. And uh, as you said, you're relatively young into your career. How did you find MMA?
So, I played baseball and football in college, and then once it was said and done, all I've ever known my whole life was sports. And then what I was supposed to go work a desk job wasn't happening. So, one of my buddies, who's one of my like he's like a big brother to me from back home. OG in the MMA scene, now in bare knuckle fighting, actually fights this weekend. Bronco Busick. He was the one was like, dude, just go for it, do it, do it, do it. And he would push me to do it. And like I found my first gym as like I was gonna do it as a hobby. And then after one fight, next fight, next fight, and it just kind of rolled over to now this is, the dream I'm chasing.
And if you hadn't have gotten into MMA, where do you think you would have ended up at?
I'd be coaching baseball. I'd be coaching baseball because what was crazy was I was before I started MM. Well, as I was doing MMA, or obviously in the amateur scene, and not making no money, no sponsors and stuff like that. I was coaching travel baseball on the weekends, and I was working security at the bars. So I'd go work security, coach travel baseball, find time to train. Now, like make the jump down to Florida, full time fighter. Like I'm in the gym training 2 to 3 times a day, 6 days a week. Like I'm all in on this dream.
And as we said before, it's looking like UFC or PFL very soon. Have you a preference on either of them? If one of them comes calling beforehand, or are you UFC or bust? Is that the way you're thinking?
Man, it's kind of like when kids in college are like, I want to go Division 1 or bust and everything. I kind of take we're not granted tomorrow, so I don't take anything for granted. So I take it one day at a time, and all I know is I can go out there and become the best human, best fighter, best person I possibly can be, become the best Niko Petrides. And then, if I'm blessed and fortunate enough to get that call, it's kind of like sit down with my manager and my team and talk with them. Like I said, I feel like the UFC is the goal, but I don't take anything for granted. If anyone sees a likeliness into me and everything, I promise I'm going to give what they signed.
Right, and thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate that. If you got any socials, anything you want to shout out, fire away.
I just, I appreciate you guys having me. If you follow my Instagram, Niko_13. It's nothing but knockouts. If you like knockouts, just scroll through the Instagram and there's a lot of knockouts. But other than that, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thank you for your time, and can't wait to have you back on when you win this strap, lad. Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Ambitions is a rider. Yeah.